Did y'all see the video of those super shamans coming together? And I don't know if they're super shamans or not, but the reason why is because they're the best shamans in their region. But they all came together and they all did a ceremony someplace, some remote location. But besides that, right, the reason why they all came together is because they all had a vision of America falling. They're going crazy out there. You have pictures of Trump, Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, and they're burning it and they're throwing X's on it. They got skulls, they got flour, all types of things in this ritual that they're doing out there. And they're basically saying that this is the end of America. America is coming to an end. And those other countries that they're portraying as well too. They got their leaders out there and they're saying these certain countries are coming to an end. But America is going to fall the hardest. It's going to fall the fastest. And they got Trump out there and they're portraying Trump and showing you all these things. And again, like I said, it's these shamans, these people who quote unquote travel into the astral realm and pull visions and stories and everything like that. And yeah, man, it's crazy. So something is definitely going on because, again, a lot, it's not just New York City. I'm finding out that a lot of these places, they didn't drop the, their so-called thing that they drop on New Year's Eve. Atlanta didn't drop the peach. New York didn't drop the ball. And any other places are experiencing this. But like I said, y'all, this new year that's leading into March of 2026, right? That's the beginning of the new year. We're going to see some crazy things happening in the next few years, in the next few months. Let me know what you guys think about this video, y'all. The shift is here. Let's get it. Peace in.
In 2026, we see Mr. Nicolas Maduro defeated. Nicolas Maduro will flee Venezuela. He will not be captured, he will flee Venezuela. The United States should prepare because Mr. Donald Trump will fall seriously ill. The conflict between Russia and Ukraine is in conversation. As if they were calling for attention. I see this conflict will end. It will finish. They will raise the flag of peace.
All right, shalom, shalom, keepers of sheep. Brother Kasha, back with another lesson. Lord will, this video is edifying. All right, before we begin, I would like to first start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, and shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, and today's lesson will be titled Peruvian Shamans Prediction for 2026. All these world leaders will serve the Lord. All right, and as you can see, today's lesson is inspired by a few clips played at the beginning of the video. Okay, so you have these Peruvian shamans. And I'm not sure if these are if these would be Israelites. All right, but they look like it might be Gad, right? Maybe, I'm not sure. But they have their predictions, all right, by visions. I believe by visions they've had, all right, concerning 2026. And while the predictions may be wrong. All right, and they at the same time they could be possibly right. We know that this is prophecy. All right, because the Lord said what? According to Acts 2:17, He said, let's get it. This is the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith the Most High, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. All right, so basically they're prophesying, all right, what's to come in 2026, okay? And, Lord willing, some of these predictions are true. And we know these predictions, some of them do line up with prophecy, all right? Being that, all these world leaders are going to fall, and you know, I'm not sure about Donald Trump's health, all right, but his current health anyway. But I know that the Simpsons also predicted the same thing, and we know that a lot of those Simpson predictions have been accurate the last 20 years, right? So, you know, who knows what to expect. All right, and a lot of this, you know, could be, you know, a lot of that left hand witchcraft and magic being worked. All right, so that's why you have to have the spirit of discernment and only lean on prophecy. All right, because like scripture, we have a sure word of prophecy, and we'll grab that because all these predictions, all right, these are, you know, these could be just vain hope, all right, and vain beliefs. But we know, according to the scripture, we have a sure word, all right, a sure word of prophecy, okay? Meaning we can count on these things. These things are not predictions or guesstimates, all right? These are accurate things that are going to come to pass and be fulfilled, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. This is 2 Peter 1:19. It reads, we have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts. All right, so we can count on this. You can depend on this. All right, you can take this to the bank. This is guaranteed. All right, it's guaranteed that these nations will serve our Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It is guaranteed that America will fall, which again, these predictions, all right, for the most part, they do line up with prophecy. Okay, so this could possibly be true visions, all right, sent from the Lord. And while the Lord does send false visions, all right, but he sends them for a reason. All things happen for a reason. All right. I'm gonna grab one more precept really quick. Okay. Isaiah 34:16, it reads, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these things, no, it's like no one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. All right. Meaning, none of these things, aren't just, we weren't just hoping. All right. We believe that these things are going to happen. Okay. One more. And we'll get to the little list I have. All right. Bear with me. Matthew 24:35, and it reads, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. All right, meaning we know over the years, there's been many predictions, all right, that things will happen, and a lot of times these things never came to fulfillment. All right, they never came to pass. But when the Lord says things, all right, meaning prophecy, all right, his words, all right, it says heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. Meaning these things are going to happen. All right, while other things may look like they're going to happen or seem to happen, or they put fear in your heart to believe that things will happen. Those things aren't accurate. All right, those things aren't sound. All right, and the thing about prophecy is, prophecy or things spoken before. all right, spoken before, and we believe, all right, through the Spirit, all right, and faith, that these things will happen. All right, but we're now seeing these things come to pass, meaning these things are true. All right, meaning one thing can't come to pass without the rest of them coming. All right. Now let's get to this list before we get too far off. All right. And as of lately, just to catch up on the news, all right, the world news, you had I think you had the president of Venezuela was kidnapped by the U.S. Of course, I think we bombed Venezuela, Lebanon, and some other place. All right, but all these things are happening to line up with the prophecy. All right, the accuracy of prophecy. All right, 2 Ezra 15 and 16, and it reads, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another." All right, did not America just invade Venezuela? All right, for so-called drugs. All right, but we know that we know the truth behind that. All right, it says 2 Ezra 15 and 16, "For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and their course of action shall stand in their power." All right, so as of lately, we've seen a lot of world leaders be attacked. All right, be killed. All right, so and we know who's behind that. All right, America has always been behind that. All right, the assassination of world leaders. All right, presidents. Right, governors. Even those of America. All right, even leaders in America. They've always been behind the assassination of people that they want to step into power, or expose them for being the wicked, expose their evil deeds. Right, 2 Ezra 15 and 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and their course of their action shall stand in their power." All right, and say we had the kidnapping of the Venezuela president, and it was something else. Lord willing, they come back to me. But the main focus of this lesson is you have the Peruvian Shamans also predicting that these world leaders will fall. All right, and that's biblical prophecy. Okay, and we'll get into that. Proverbs 29 and 2. "And when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." All right, so the world is in a mourning state. All right, and when we say the people, specifically the Israelites, all right, we're in the mourning state. All right, and now you see even the other nations, all right, as of lately, all right, they're in the mourning state. It says when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. All right, so rejoicing is coming. All right, time of rejoicing is coming, man. Okay, because soon the righteous will be in authority. Soon the righteous will rule the earth in righteousness. All right. Again, from the top, Proverbs 29 and 2, "With your righteous are in authority, the people rejoice." All right, and these people, these Shamans, they're in the spirit of rejoicing. All right, because they've seen the righteous in authority. All right, through their visions. All right, through their predictions, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Okay, so those same people have to go home. All right, and still be subject to what? To the wickedness of this world. Okay. Job 9:24. All right, we always get this. All right, but as the time passes, prophecies are being fulfilled. It continues to prove who the wicked are and who run the earth. So we have to continue to get this precept, because it continues as prophecy. Again, is being fulfilled. It continues to prove who the wicked are and who rule the world right now. All right. Obviously, it's not the righteous, right? Because the people are mourning, and obviously, it is the wicked. All right, because no one is safe, no one is at peace. All right, that there is war. It's still war in the world, right? This is Job 9:24, and it reads, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" It's just the thing. The wicked, he sets up his own leaders. He sets up his own world leaders. All right. While there is an elite world leaders, all right, they control the entire earth. They set up their own leaders, all right, to govern different countries, nations, all right, lands and things of that nature. All right, those are just puppets set up by the world leaders. All right, the wicked. Job 9:24 again, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, meaning the Lord allowed the wicked to do these things. All right, and the wicked know that. All right, they know they have a short time. Also, according to Revelation 12:22, roughly paraphrasing. Salakia if I'm off on that. But the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right. So the Lord is allowing these things, all right, to take place in the earth, so the wicked can be revealed. All right, so the righteous can rule in authority. Okay. And rule in righteousness, Salakia. This is Isaiah 31 and 3. We're straight to the point. It says, "Now the Egyptians are men and not God." All right, and that's the thing. These world leaders, all right, it's beginning with the elite. They think they're the most high. They think they're gods. All right, they think they have the last and final say. All right, Egyptians, Salakia, Isaiah 31:3. "Now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horses flesh and not spirit." All right, I mean these things can be stopped. These things can be destroyed, killed, right? These men, all right, their weapons, all right, their technology, all these things can be destroyed, okay? It says, "And their horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fall together." All these world leaders are going to fall together, all right, while they join hand in hand, all right, to, build one another up, all right, to keep power, all right, to keep lands, oil, resources, weapons, technology, right? They are going to fall together because all these things are carnal. All these things are not spirit. They're just men. They're just flesh. All right, they're weak. All right, again from the top, Isaiah 31:3. "Now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together." All right, so and that's why you see these countries backing one another. You got Russia backing Venezuela, China also backing Venezuela, Russia backing China, China backing Russia. All right, they're all hoping, to rule over who? Rule over Babylon, to rule over the beast, rule over America. Everyone's hoping to be the next world power, but on much title of hand, all these world leaders or these nations, these kingdoms, they will serve the Lord. All right, and not only the Lord, but his elect. And we'll grab this in 2 Timothy 2:12 to prove that. It says, "If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will not deny us." But the point is, we shall also reign with him. All right. So we also will rule over the nations. Okay. And we'll get this in Jeremiah 51:20 to further prove that. It says, "Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war." It says, "For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms." All right, meaning with the men of the Lord, his elect, also with his chariots, all right, and the angels. And we're going to grab this real quick, all right, to back that up. "I will not meet thee as a man," right? Meaning the Lord is not going to give you the chance to even, get a shot in, all right? He's not even going to give you the chance to think you have an opportunity. It says in Isaiah 47:3, Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Meaning the Lord is going to come down and slaughter. All right. He's gonna totally take out the wicked. All right, beginning with Babylon the Great, aka America. All right. Jeremiah 51:20 again. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. All right, meaning when we come back from the heavens, all right, we're gonna set these nations straight. All right, we're gonna set them straight. There's not gonna be no more peace treaties. All right, these nations are gonna serve us. All right, they're gonna fall. All right, all nations are gonna fall, not just America. All right, the rest of them as well. Okay. And we can get this in Isaiah 60. This is a good chapter to further prove it. All right. This is Isaiah 60, verse 1. It says, Arise, shine, for my light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and the kings of the brightness of rising. Lift up thine eyes round about, and see how they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy son shall come from afar, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thy heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. The multitude of camels shall cover thee. The dromedaries of Midian and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praises of the Lord. All right, and that's the point. These nations they're gonna bring resources to who? To us, to Israel. All right, to the land and to the people. All right, that they're gonna worship the Lord, they're gonna serve the Lord, they're gonna keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. All right, and they're gonna do it in righteousness. Okay, and I could continue on, but that's mainly the point. And just to back it up, all right. Revelation 19:11 reads, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, right? Meaning a so-called UFO, a chariot, but it wasn't just like your regular chariot. It was the brightest, all right, the most prettiest, shiniest, all right, decked out chariot, all right, the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, all right. It says, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true, all right, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. All right, so the Lord is going to end World War III. He's going to begin it and end it. All right, it says in righteousness he doth judge and make war, and not because the Lord wants your oil or your resources or he wants the land. No, because these things belong to the Lord. All right, it belongs to the elect. All right, the Lord is coming back to redeem and take what's his. All right, it says in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. What are those crowns? Those crowns of the nations, the world leaders. He's gonna take Vladimir Putin's crown, Trump's crown, Jim Young, all these world leaders' crowns, right? All these crowns of these many nations, he's gonna take. It says, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself, right? And he was clothed a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses. They also were in chariots. All right, so-called UFOs. And clothed in fine and linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of almighty power. All right, meaning the Lord got down. All right, meaning, he's gonna from his chariot. All right, he's gonna destroy the nations. He's gonna destroy the wicked. All right, by way of fire, laser beams. All right, it says, and he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. All right, meaning the Lord will rule the earth. All right, he will rule the world. All right, he's going to take the world, from the earth, from the wicked and rule in righteousness. All right, that's what this is what's happening in this chapter. So with that, man, I pray that this lesson was edifying once again. Until next time, I would like to close out by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to the Most High. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushua Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom and shalom to the elect.